Imagine becoming the talk of a town, the realtor whose name springs to mind in every local real estate conversation. This isn't about flashy advertising or having your face on bus benches. No, it's about weaving a narrative and creating remarkable experiences and establishing a presence so integral to your community that you're not just a realtor, you're a local celebrity. In real estate, your brand isn't built on transactions, it's built on relationships, on trust, on being the remarkable choice in a sea of monotony. Today, we're not just discussing personal branding, we're exploring how you, the unsung hero of your community, can ascend to a local brand celebrity. Because when you make that genuine impact, that's when you become unforgettable. So by the end of this video, you're going to be armed with 5 effective tips to be able to use to go out and really build that local brand celebrity status for your real estate brand. But I will say one thing, that these tips will work, but only if you put in the work. So here we go. Let's get right into it. All right, guys, thanks for being here. So what we're going to talk about today is how to turn your brand, your real estate brand, celebrity status in the farms that you serve, and how we can silence your competition by becoming the most well-known agent. Like, just a quick stat I want to throw out there, you have to think in terms of abundance. 3 to 5% of people are going to move every single year. So if you have a neighborhood of 1,000 people, what's 3 to 5%? Especially like here in Orange County, where a lot of the agents that we work with, it's actually more closer to 5% because of how desirable this area is, and just the influx of people we have coming in and out. So 1,000, 2,000 homes in your neighborhood that you have, in the farms that you serve, there's a lot of transactions being done within those. And by the end of this training, I want to give you just 5 great strategies that you could use to be able to become the most well-known agent within those areas, so you can start taking the majority share of the deals. So let's get right into it, okay? The first one, and I know this is going to sound like a broken record, and you might have heard this already before, and you might be saying, well, I don't need to create content because I've been doing this for 20 to 30 years, and I just pour into my past clients. Well, that's great. Like, if you want to stay at the level that you're at, then don't do this. But if you're an agent who sincerely wants to go to the next level, you want to do more deals each and every single year, content is an absolute non-negotiable, and it should be one of the top things on your list of priorities as an agent. I think one of the big things that I think of as like why content is so important is because your job as an agent is not to be a secret agent. Like, this is why. Like, this is what I think, that is, if that you truly think that you can help people better than other agents, and you love your job, and you are sincerely really good at your job, you are doing people a disservice by not becoming the most well-known agent, for them not being able to know you, and that you could help their problems and bring them to their goals better than any other agent. So I think that that's the number one thing I think of with content, is your job is not to be a silent agent. Your job is to go out there and be able to service families and help your clients better than anybody else can. And if you truly believe in your heart that you can do that, that's why you should be creating content. That's why I'm creating content. Look, I'm filming this at the house. I don't have a big studio setup, but I believe that it's my job not to be a secret, that I need to get my message out there and in front of agents, because I believe in my heart that we can help agents with marketing and getting their brand out there and helping them close more deals better than any other agency. So that should be, your thing. And content is how people are, developing relationships with brands and also maintaining them. So even if you are an agent who says like, yeah, I just work with past clients and I work off referrals, like, being able to create content that you can serve in front of them, I think not only reinforces to the consumer and to your past clients of why they worked with you, but also of why they are going to continue to work with you in the future, is because they consistently see the great value that you're delivering, what you're doing within the community, how you're creating these success stories for other people. Like, if I was a client and I worked with an agent versus, them just being call me every 6 months, maybe they drop something off, but versus like an agent that I follow on social media and I consistently see them, all the success stories that they're talking about, building their local brand authority with giving me great tips and letting me know about market updates, but also, all this great content that they could be creating, it's going to reiterate the fact, reinforce the fact is what I mean of why I am going to continue to work with them. And so that's just one of the big things right there. So creating great content is the first thing that you got to want to do. And the three different types of content that I think that you could dive into. And also, just a quick side note, I'm going to throw out there: if you are watching this on YouTube, or you'd be happy to see this on Instagram, we have links in our bio that you can click that is going to have some free guides of different content ideas that you could use. It's got like 50 different content ideas, all kind of based around these three categories that you could use. Literally plug and play them. They're for free. Use them in your business. But we're not going to dive into too much on like the actual things. Just know you need to create content. Localized community. What is going on? Like, what are the things that you can talk about in the local community? What buildings are getting built? What restaurants are coming into town? What changes are happening within the community that people want to be educated on? When I do, for the second thing, for things to do, when I go to answerthepublic.com, which is like a site where you can see what people are searching on Google. One of the things that when I go to like real estate in Orange County, or Orange County, just in general, or Newport Beach, one of the most highly sought after things is what is there to do in Irvine? Things to do in Irvine, things to do in Newport Beach, things to do in Yorba Belinda. Like, people want to know new things to do. So help them. Like, show the things, highlight the community that you work within with great content. Like, I know in Irvine, they got Tanaka Farms going on for the Halloween. They have great park. Wild Rivers just got built. Newport Beach, they got Rogers Gardens that's doing something for Halloween. They have pumpkin patches there. Like, be that local figure, that local authority that people could depend on for like new things to do. And yes, does it come with like you having to put some work into research to maybe develop some relationships with key people that can be feeding you this information? Yes, but I think that this is going to make you an invaluable resource to people within your database. Number two is going to be localized real estate content. So I'm big on choosing a farm, like maximize and zone in on a farm. I think the best agents do this and they absolutely dominate areas. I'd rather, that's just what I would rather do. And when I say localized real estate content, is create content that is only about your farming areas. you know if it's how interest rates are here, what's the market report, how does all that data, like, instead of just like you get this market report from your title person and then you share it on your Instagram, like, that's so much data being thrown at a consumer. How can you make that make sense? Like, how can you tell a story around that and give them the breakdown of what that actually means in their local community? So a realtor that we work with works in like the Spyglass Hills area in Newport Beach and also Dover Shores. So when we create market updates, we don't do it for all of Orange County. We don't do it for all of this area. We do it for those specific areas. So those are the people that we want to ultimately build the most brand authority with. That's where we want to be. That local celebrity brand figure is within those areas. So just being able to share like important facts and tips that are going to be most relevant to the niche areas that you serve, to the farm areas that you serve. And the last great piece of content that you can create is just sharing stories. Share the experiences about like how it is to work with you and why you do the things that you do. Like, not on a side note, something that is really great is Simon Sinek's Circle of Why. It's what, how, and why. Like, everyone knows what they do. Some people know how they do it, but not a lot of people actually know why they do something. And the why is why consumers actually ultimately end up to work with companies that they do. Because they're intrigued by their why, their purpose behind it. So if you can be able to share stories about, not only how you do the things that you do, the experience, which is the how, but if you can say why you do the things that you do and share stories about that, and those could be client success stories. This is how we started to market the property. This is why it was so important for me to do this. This is why that I wanted to do this way or that this way. Just being able to share those success stories and really paint the picture for people. So that's going to be the first thing, is creating great content. The second, run hyper local ads. I think that this is one of the most underrated things that you could do for as an agent, is play the game. This is the best way to accelerate the growth of your brand and show up where your farm is spending 2 to 4 hours every single day. Like, I am not happy to admit this. I recently just kind of took a break from Instagram, but I was spending like 2 to 3 hours on Instagram each and every single day. So I guarantee that your farm people that live in your farming areas are doing the same exact thing. They're on TikTok, they're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're on YouTube. So they're on social platforms where you could pay to play the game. So each week, with the content that you're creating here, run ads to it. Like, this is an example of a YouTube channel with a lady that we worked with, or we still do work with. In just 28 days, 52,000 views from people that are just in the farming areas that she wants to work with. Gained 24 subscribers, 1.2 thousand hours of watch time. Like, think about how many people you'd have to cold call, how many doors you'd have to knock on to be able to get 1.2 thousand hours of face-to-face time with people on your brand. So I just think that this is a great way to really start to throw some gas to the fire of building your brand. Like I said, you can run ads to people just in your farm. I know a lot of people got in like a real big frenzy with Facebook when Facebook did that Fair Housing Act, but you are still allowed to run ads within on Facebook within that demographic. If you want to run it just in specific zip codes or just in specific neighborhoods, the only thing is it can't be about a real estate listing opportunity. Like, if you have a real estate listing, it has to have the 15-mile plus. You can't have specific demographics constrained with that or anything. But if you're just giving tips about the advice, talking about the community, sharing stories and things like that, you can run that to areas just within your farm. So I would absolutely do that. Same with YouTube, which is done through Google Ads Manager. That's how this is, through Google Ads Manager. So this is the great thing. Another great thing about this too is you can start to retarget people too with your ads based on specific actions that they're taking. So, like, if people are watching a specific amount of videos, or if people go to your website, or if they were on a specific landing page and you want to retarget those people, you can do that with ads. And also, what you're able to do too is, if you want to really like just get your past clients and you want to continue to pour into your past clients, if you have a database of over 1,000 people, you can upload that database into Facebook or into Google, and you can run ads to just your database to stay top of mind. Exactly the same that we were talking before, is like just being able to reinforce the fact of why they want to work with you. So, like, I think the main important thing is with an ad strategy, like if you're running hyper local ads, is just have an ad strategy to stay omnipresent. Like, be running ads on Google, run ads on Facebook, and Facebook owns Instagram, so you could do it from the same ads manager. But have all three platforms going. So whenever someone's on YouTube, they're seeing your ads. Whenever you're there on Instagram, they're seeing your ads. Whenever they're on Facebook, they're seeing your ads. And it's great content. This isn't content where you're saying, oh, right now is a great time to buy, fill out some information below. Like, no, like, just build your brand with the content that you're creating, the great content right here. Put some fire behind that and run that with local ads. So that's going to be the second thing that I want you to do, is run hyper local ads. Third thing, I know you're probably like, what the heck, from a digital marketing guy, like from an agency standpoint, they're talking about mailers. Yes, I think mailers are still an effective way to get your brand in front of your farming area. I believe that the key with mailers is just to be different. Most people send out super generic stuff with weak call to actions. Like, I just searched online for some mailers. I don't have any examples. I should have looked. I just didn't go to the office. Like this right here. This isn't a terrible mailer, but I think that you need to be different within the mailers that you're sending. People still check their mail. It is a great point of contact, but it needs to be done right. Now more, no more is like it. When I say like super generic stuff, do you just say like, it's a great time to buy, it's a great time to sell, call me today, and you have your number on there? Like, I think that's just an absolute waste. Like, I think what mailers should be doing is you need to be painting an experience and looking to build your authority within people. So, one thing I'd ask, like, when I talk about painting an experience, is like, what are some little quick testimonials that you can share on there? Not from someone, it could be like a testimonial from a review of what someone gave you, but almost of like, how can you paint the experience of like, hey, this was a homeowner that we took in your neighborhood recently, like they were experiencing this. This is what we did. We staged the home, we got it painted, we did a pre-market this, then we got it on market, we ran ads to the property. Like, if I was thinking about selling in the next 3 to 4 months and I got a mailer that really just painted that experience and how you got that result, like, I'd be like, wow. And then I think like something that you could do even on top of that is to include a QR code. And then on that QR code that says, if you want the full walkthrough of how we did this, scan this QR code. And then it could take them to like a YouTube video or a video that you have hosted on Vimeo or something like that, where you're actually giving a full walkthrough of exactly how they did it. So I think that would be a great idea to do. And when I say like looking to build brand authority, like I think a big thing right now, especially in this market, is people want to sell, but they don't know what they should do. They don't know maybe if that they should sell, rates are high, or if that they should just rent out their place and buy a new home. Like there's some questions. Maybe something where it's a rent versus own. Like are you thinking of what is the best thing for you? Is it to rent your current place out or to buy a new place and show the breakdown for what they could sell it for, what the median value is of home sales in their neighborhood? Then look at the renting and have some quick numbers and then have a scan code on them that says if you want a further breakthrough, a breakdown of this, like scan this or and it will send like an automated text to you and then boom, a conversation. I think important thing is making things very easy for them to do. Hyper localized market updates where it shows homes just in their neighborhood. I think one of the things that I think is done wrong is like you send a mailer to a specific neighborhood within Newport Beach, but they're sending like just sold within Newport Beach is like 3 or 4 communities away, which aren't even identical to what price points would be in this neighborhood. Or same with Irvine, or same with Orange. It doesn't matter. Like you have to be specific. If you're mailing to one specific neighborhood, make it very relevant to just that area right there that you're doing. So yeah, just like on a quick side note, I saw this study that was done. It's called the 8x8, and you might have heard it before. And these people went to door knock a community, and they said they were just surveying. They said, hey, if you were to pick a local real estate agent right now, who would be the agent that you would choose? And most people were like, oh, I don't know, or there was no like clear cut number one person. So what these people did is they did an 8x8. They created a fictitious real estate agent and they mailed the same people every single week for 8 weeks, which is mailers. I don't know exactly what was put on the mailers or how they were done. But then after that 8th week, on the 9th week, they went back, they knocked on everyone's door, and 80 something percent of people said the realtor of the area was the real fictitious agent that they posted on this. So I mean, that's crazy with just mailers. So this is a great way to get in front of your people. I don't know if you have to do them every single week. I know that they can get costly, but I think if you could do them on a monthly basis, I think that is a great thing for you to do. Number 4, community events. These are golden. I cannot say enough how community events are so golden. We've done, media coverage at like local events for a bunch of realtors, and the deals that come out of these, the conversations that come out of these are gold. And the reason is exactly here. Conversations, conversations, conversations. That is what a good community event will do for you. I think when these are done right, can probably be the most powerful. You get to meet people face to face. I think the thing is that is really the important part about this is you got to do something that people would want to go to. You can't do some lame thing where it's like you yourself wouldn't even want to go to. Like some good ideas that we have seen is like a picture day, a real estate agent that we did that we were working with when people were going back to school. She hosted a picture day where it's come everyone, bring your family. We're going to do free family photos. She had a nice backdrop set up in a different, a couple of different spots, and she took free photos for all these people. They signed in. She got to talk to them. Oh, how you guys been? And she had so many conversations. I think she hosted it for 2 days and she had like 110 families come by. Like, how valuable would that be to your business if you had 110 conversations in 2 days? Like, that's just something that I think is so great. And she does a massive amount of deals. I think last year she did like 65 deals. And yeah, it just goes to show. Like another great example, I think that could be if like, you want to get in front of the moms, you do pedicure day. Like, come by for one whole day for 5 or 6 hours. We're renting out this place and we're giving free pedicures with champagne. Come and hang out, and you're there. You're talking with everyone. Like that's something that everyone want to do. Like if you're a guy and you want to, get guys to a spot, sports bar with beer and wings, or like a golf simulator, or if you want to get the whole family, or just another thing for girls like candle making, cooking classes. But I think that these are all a great idea to just draw people in. The important part here is do something that people actually would want to be a part of. Like if you wouldn't want to do it, why do you think that people in your farming areas would want to do it? So I think it's good to do these once a quarter, make them meaningful, make them something that people actually desire to be a part of. And number four, you're probably again like, what the fuck? I thought you were a digital marketing guy. Door knocking. It's not the sexiest or the most fun thing to do, but it is a great way, again, to get face to face with people. I think the big key here is not to knock to sell. I put big key is to knock to sell. It's not to knock to sell, but to knock to introduce and be of value to people. A quote that I think of a lot is from this guy named Trevor Moawad. Is that it takes what it takes. Like, if you look at the great agents, they do what it takes to be a great agent. The reason that they sell so many homes, like, sure, they might not have to do everything now that they did to get there, but they laid a ground basis from hard work, from doing everything that they can to get to where they are. So do more. Just because no one else wants to go door knock and they say it sucks and they focus on other things, like, I would be doing everything. I would both be doing the videos, the community events, the mailers, the cold calls, the door knocking, the hyper local ads. Like, think about the effect that that would have if you're doing all these things, not just one that you want to do, but doing all these things. People are seeing your content, they're seeing your ads, they're getting your mailers, they're showing up to your community events. Then you're knocking on their door, and all you're doing is being of value. Like, when I say go and door knock and not to sell, like, I mean to go knock on people's doors to just introduce yourself. Like, hey guys, what's up? My name is Mike. Like, you might have seen my ads. I'm the local realtor. Like, maybe you've seen me online, but I really just wanted to come by your home today just to introduce myself personally. It's nice to meet you guys. Is there anything I can help you out with? Like, is there any work that maybe you're thinking of doing to the house that, from contractors or subcontractors that I could put you in touch with, cleaning ladies, anything? I'm just here to be a resource and, again, introduce myself. Like, people's guards go down. You're not knocking on their door to try to sell them like, hey, are you looking to buy or sell? But you're looking to just be of value, to just start creating deeper relationships within people within that community. So I think when you take that approach, like, again, magic's made. And it's going to be easier on you too. Like, it's hard when you're going to knock on someone's door to ask for something. But if you're just going to knock on someone's door just to shake their hand and introduce yourself, there's a big difference in the energy that you're probably bringing. Like, you're not as nervous and things like that. So, those are the 5 tips that I got for you guys today. I hope you got some value. Again, we'll go through them. Create great content, local community content, local real estate content, share the stories and the experiences, your success stories, all that stuff. Run hyper local ads. 53,000 people in 28 days. And that was on like a $500 budget that we did that on. So, goes to show, create great content. It has a trickle effect. Number 3, mailers. Send mailers. Show value. Don't be the generic person that just says it's a great time to sell. Just call me now. Do it better. Community events. Create community events that people actually want to be a part of. And 5, door knocking, and go there just to introduce yourself and have conversation. So that was all the tips. I hope you guys got some great value from this video. If there's any ideas that you have with future videos that you would like to see around marketing, branding, and email, anything with online stuff or offline marketing, please reach out to us and let us know what you would like to see. Thank you so much, guys.